Be prepared. You've been adequately warned. Oh, joyous day. The 2025 YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame voting is upon us. What a divine treat. Hopefully we'll all be introduced to wonderful content makers that educate us about 1950s and 1960s, and if we're lucky, pre-war trading cards. No, I kid. 3 years of making videos on YouTube is like 600 dog years, or 5,000 turnip years. Those who have made it 3 years need the highest form of praise and accolades. Constantly rehashing the same video topics, like Cyndi Lauper, raises the proverbial content bar for all of the folks in the YouTube sports card mutiny. For a newer gaggle of such insightful and informative collectors, some who base their collections and purchases of what they are adding to their collection to the value of career statistics. It is beyond amazing that 3 years is the recognized minimum requirement for time on the YouTube platform. Do you get an award after 3 years of marriage? 3 years of being at a job? 3 years without masturbating? If you do, good for you. Participation awards are a constant occurrence in your life. Congrats. At least my wonderful BFF, best friend forever, Mike, baseball collector, has said, in retrospect, the idea wasn't well thought out. And that he thought it'd just be a passing contest to respond to, and not a yearly dumpster fire of never-ending fun. Kudos to Mike for the realization now. I commend him for his invaluable insight and stark frankness in these recent statements and our private chats in the Eagle's Nest in 2023. Now, with all those wonderful pleasantries behind us, and all of my best friends in the community accounted for, I give to you, without the furthest of ados, my 2025 YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame ballot. First, Carlos at Because I'm Carlos. Carlos is known to volunteer his time at the local park by tossing sticks into children's bikes as they gleefully, and, unsuspectingly, ride at great speeds. The results are hilarious and should be documented on film. Second, Steve at Purple GT22. Steve loves trying wrestling moves and being the poster child, in that sense, for the phrase don't try this at home. 3. Michael, at Jericho 941 IMI. Michael has one of the nicest Hank Greenberg and Johnny Bench collections out there. Also is a sucker for pain and failure, as he enjoys picking up Fran Tarkenton cards and items. Fourth, Micah, at Dystemic. Micah is the premier Minnesota Twins collector. I'm not telling any tales out of school when I say that's something to hang one's hat on, correct? Fifth, Chris, aka Vintage, at Sixta for 2024. He is the world's premier Titus Young collector. Sixth, Steve, at the Broncos 79, and who is also part of a particular podcast that happens to appear every Tuesday night, most of the time, at 8:05 p.m. Central Standard Time-ish. Inquire within if you'd like to learn more. Seventh, Joey, at Birdcat 8. Fun and relatively unknown fact, the first time Joey and I met is when we went to a Green Bay Packers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers game a couple years ago. Wasn't that a wonderfully insightful community-based tale? Eighth, Michael, at This Film Not Yet Rated. Michael enjoys cards and food. Ninth, Clint, over at the Cole Hamels Fan 1 channel. Clint loves wrestling, not against others, especially the physically fit specimens that litter our wonderful card mutiny, but watching and meeting past and current professional wrestling luminaries, including, but not limited to, Mae Young, George Hackenschmidt, Playboy Buddy Rose and Little Tokyo. And, finally, my 10th nominee is Chris, over at the Hobby Box, aka Cards Infinity. To not have him in anything recognizing anything to do with upper echelon and the top rung of sports cards, is beyond asinine and walks it from a Hall of Fame to a Hall of Lame. So, with that, this atrocity of a ballot and video is nearly over. If you've learned nothing else from this lengthy video that has made your toenails curl, it is that you should most definitely check out the Insert Revolution podcast on the YouTube channel that bears the same name. Every Tuesday night, with some exception, starting at 8:05 p.m. Central Standard Time-ish. We talk about recency bias, top 10 card sales for the past week of a particular year, what our favorite non-caffeinated beverages and what we think if Pacific Kramer's choice cards were in the Pro Set brand, and how that setup would equate to sniffing flowers next to the dog, who you just sold, to buy a PSA 8 1958 Topps Willie Mays. Salutations and well wishes, motherfuckers. I bid thee farewell, for now. Remember, it's just a hobby.